Ladies and gentlemen,
it's time to embrace a youthful mindset and envision your future. Take the lead is in your walls.
Take the lead is in your walls.
This platform serves as a space for engagement designed to equip young people to become effective leaders. They are actively contributing, creatively engaged, and determined in various fields. And now, this is Take the Lead.
Hello to you out there, and thank you for your commitment to West Africa Democracy Radio 94.9 FM. Welcome to Take the Lead. Your youth exchange platform is back this week with another interesting topic. In this fourth episode, we will discuss some means of preventing online harassment and propose necessary measures for governments and digital platforms to prosecute cyber crimes. Please stay with us live on 94.9 FM and our online platforms on Facebook, WADR English service, on YouTube at WADR. Also send in your comments because we will read them out on the program. Now, there are many forms of harassment, especially on social networks. It could be on Twitter, it could be on Facebook, it could be on LinkedIn, Instagram. You know more about those platforms. And these harassments, also referred to as cyberbullying or online harassments, involve using the social media platforms to repeatedly target someone with either abusive, threatening, or humiliating content, causing emotional distress through the comments or the posts or messages or even images, often affiliated or facilitated by anonymity of the online space. That means some of these people post and you don't know their identity. Many people have been affected by these various forms of online harassments, and some are still psychologically affected as we speak. And these are among the many important reasons we will be discussing this matter with our guests today. Please stay with us.
Take the Lead is back in 2025 with a brand new format. Yes, your youth exchange space will now be broadcast live every Friday at 4:05 p.m. Universal Time. And that's not all. Dear internet users and WADR subscribers, you have the opportunity to experience the show live and direct on our online platforms on Facebook at WADR English Service and on YouTube at WADR. Take the Lead every Friday from 4:05 p.m. Universal Time and rebroadcast same day at 1 a.m. Universal Time. Also on every Tuesday, your youth program will be rebroadcast at 7:15 a.m. and 4:05 p.m. GMT. Take the lead and champion the discourse for the betterment of young people.
Yeah, that's what it is. You have to take the lead in championing the discourse for the upliftment of young people. Well, listeners and viewers, our guests for today are Aliyu Konan, better known by the name Big Ali. Aliyu is an international Liberian rapper or singer and an online TV presenter. He's based here in Senegal. We will get to know more about him, but how are you doing, Aliyu? Big Ali.
Big Ali J. I'm doing great.
Okay, you said Big Ali J?
Big Ali J, yeah.
Tell us more about that name.
That name is not something that I just created or just picked from somewhere. It's the name that I got from my granddad. They used to call him that name, so I didn't take it from somewhere like other artists are doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us, how do you feel so far in the new year?
This is my second time being here.
Okay.
I've been here before with Adolphus Mawolu.
Yeah, I mean, like the new year 2025, how are you doing? so far?
Actually, so far it's going great. I don't want to lie, and we are trying to make it through. Like 2024, there's the same lane we are on just to make it.
Okay. All right. So we also have Miss Umin Gajaga. She's a beauty queen and she holds a diploma in performing arts from the Institute of Travel and Tourism of the Gambia. Let's hear from Miss Umin. How are you doing? Miss Umin, how are you doing? I think we need to check it out if she's getting us from here. Omen, hello, how are you doing?
I am fine. How are you guys?
Well, I am okay, and your colleague, Big Ali J, is also here getting you. Tell us more about how you're faring so far in the new year.
Well, it's actually exciting to be here this year, family members and loved ones, and I'm thrilled to be here with you guys. So I'm feeling excited to be here. Thank you.
Okay, that's wonderful to hear from you. Well, listener, that's not all. We will also be hearing from Pa Daniel Gomez. Pa Daniel Gomez is currently wearing the crown as Mr. Gambia. He won that title some part of last year. But however, Daniel is a victim of online harassment.
Wow.
And yes, he will be sharing his experience with us, certain part of this program, and then we will also have him make some efforts to have him live on the program with us, so that we could also explain more about our situation, and then have the opportunity to ask him further questions. So, not to waste your time, let's begin with you. Big Ali J. I would love to call you your musical name henceforth.
Of course.
Yeah, so please share your own personal overview with us. How do you understand online harassment to be?
From my own point of view, online harassment is an intimidating behavior targeted, to hurt someone's feelings on platforms. Yeah.
To hurt someone's
Feelings.
Can you explain a bit further? Hurt someone's feelings. What do you mean?
To bully someone, to hurt someone's feelings, like I was saying, to bully someone, and then how am I gonna say this? If someone is mostly those that I post most of the time, and you have some people there online that are there just to attack people personally.
Okay. The going so very personal with you on the social media and trying to maybe denigrate your image and so forth.
Tarnish people images, on social media.
That's right. We'll get more of that. Can we hear from you, Umin? What's your own personal understanding of online harassment? I think we need to check with Umin. Okay, yes.
You guys.
Okay, I'm asking you to share with us your personal understanding of online harassment.
Okay, thank you for that question. My own understanding of online harassment or cyberbullying could be when a comment or an attack is repeated, deliberately using the internet and other electronic communication tools to engage in persistent and harmful communication intended to frighten, intimidate, or also harass someone by sending negative messages directly to targeted individuals. In other words, cyberbullying refers to mean comments and attacking people.
Okay, we really hope to get you clear, because I know there's some background noise, but our technicians are working from their end so that you people are not distracted with the noise coming from that. But we will get you coming in. Like I said earlier, we will have Pa Gomez, but he will join us when we already played his experience here on the show. But I believe there are different forms of online harassment. Are you aware of that? Can you share with us so far, Aliyu, your own understanding about the different forms of harassment on social media?
Of course, some people just through the comments you post, they can attack you through those comments. Some people, if they bullet you, the aims at you just destroying you.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people, that's what they do. But as for me, if I see things like that, I can easily ignore or either comment 2-3 times and then ignore. If someone who doesn't know how to do it, so at the end of the day, they end up being hurt.
All right. I will come to that aspect. But do you have an addition to that, Umin, regarding some forms of online harassment that you can identify?
Okay, lately in this modern world of technology, I've seen people post rumors about people, and some could even go to the extent of making fake accounts in your name, pretending to be you on online forum, and some might even share activities that are not in line with community guidelines or community expectations, just to damage your reputation. So, yeah.
But the social media, and I'm still sticking with you, Umin. The social media is also a place to share some friendly conversations, and it's often seen. Sometimes you share your colleagues' photos, like you kind of having what you term as hard joke or standard joke. I'm kind of concerned. How do you distinguish these harmless comments from harassments, the comments that will tend to harass you? How can you distinguish the two, Umi?
Well, for me, I feel that one way I could distinguish a harmless comment from bullying or harassment, like if someone is just commenting, the person will not try to embarrass you or make you look bad in front of people. So that is one thing to look out for. He might even point out one or two things just to make sure you people have fun or things that you might be wrong about. But then he actually might be also right about those things. So that is just a harmless statement or comment. But now when someone is bullying you, they will attack your persona, like your personality. They will bully you. And most of the time, bullies will use these mediums and term it as a joke. So they joke around with you in a rude manner, and then the joke is not funny at all. So sometimes people use this like this is just a harmless comment to actually attack you. So it's very important that you look at the intent, you look at the repetition, and how powerful the message is. So those are things to look at. Actually, know whether this is bullying or this is just a friendly comment.
Okay. For you, Big Ali J, especially someone you don't know in person, but maybe you are a friend with the person on the social media, maybe on Instagram, the both of you are friends, and you posted and it just came with this sort of comment. How would you distinguish it to be whether it is harassing to you or it is just a common joke?
Thank you. In fact, those kind of a comments are not aims at me. It's not personal. It is not personal. So if you comment and I do, I know it's not attacking me. Maybe we have like more 3, 4, 5 that are participating in the same that are commenting on the same post. So it's not personal. But bullying, to me, bullying is like it's personal. They attack you personally, trying to tarnish your reputation.
Okay.
And it's repetitive.
Let me frame this way, and I'll ask that to you. What if my ex-girlfriend is constantly sending me emails, text messages to my phone and messages via the social media? It's just constant, but she's my ex-girlfriend. How would I term that? Is that harassment? Is that online harassment as well? How can you term that?
You have to see if it contain words that are inappropriate. If she's saying things that she's not supposed to.
Okay.
Then I think that's personal. She's attacking me. But if it's not personal, I think it's okay. We can just share whatever, and then we get over it.
Okay, but if she's kind of using those high joking words that maybe the both of you used to, get used to or go down with, but this time the both of you are no longer in that space, but she's kind of using those words. Would you still consider that as harassment or the same normal joke you people used to do?
No, that's harassment.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because there are things that should be said on social media, on platforms. There are things that should stay between us because we are intimacy, right? If you have an intimacy with somebody, there are things that you should do outside. There are things that should stay inside.
Okay, but what about you, Umin? How would you consider that?
Yeah. If the person is just communicating on normal and in friendly conversations, friendly messages, I'll term that as being scam. But when the messages are personal and then they should be out there, or the person is bringing in an unwanted communication. Like for instance, let me say I am busy with something and the person kept sending messages during odd hours. The person will call me when I'm busy. So those are unwanted communication. So it's either I talk to that individual, okay, I wouldn't want this conversation to go. And if the person doesn't want to pay attention to what I'm saying, then I think the best is to observe the community guideline stuff and then block that individual or refrain from talking to that individual.
Okay, Omen, I will just play with you. I don't know if you're using headset or you have an ear part. You can just speak directly to the phone because you are coming in, you are breaking in, and we are not getting you so clearly. Maybe you could just avoid maybe the earpiece and speak directly to the phone so that you'll be clear on the radio. Thank you so kindly. Now, having said that, I stated earlier that we will hear from a victim of online harassment. Let's use this time like a few minutes, like 3 minutes, and then we understand his situation, what happened to him with regards to online harassment, and then we will make some efforts to have him live on the program so that he explain in details, and then we share further knowledge about his experience and the best way forward. So, and then we will continue on that. But let's now listen to Pa Daniel Gomez, who is also referred to as Mr. Gambia. Let's get the report of Mr. Gambia, then we'll be right back.
This one happened in 2023. I had just competed in a pageant, which is called KM Miss and Master for Red Cross. So then around the summer, I was sent a message by a friend of mine, and then she was like, "Hey, how are you? Have you seen this?" I was like, "No. What are you talking about?" So then she had sent me a screenshot of a post of a page with my picture there. And the caption was "Gam Gaze," and then it had like, I think, episode 1.
If I may ask you again, what was the caption of the post?
It was Gam Gaze, that is Gambia Gaze, if I can remember correctly. So I was a bit baffled because when that message came, I was actually eating. So I had to stop everything because I was so shocked, and then so many things started running through my mind. I did not know what to do. At that instant, I just froze. So then what I thought, I was like, okay, I have not seen it. I will try and see if I can go on Instagram and look up the page. Then when I went to Instagram, because it was posted there, surprising to me, I was not following that particular page. And then it was on private. So meaning that if you're not a follower, you will not be able to interact with whatever content that they post. So I sent a request for follow. The whole night I could not sleep because the message came around 8-ish thereabout. So when I woke up in the morning, I saw a notification that your request has been accepted. But then before I could go in, I realized I was blocked. So what actually made me a bit scared was the fact that my parents use social media, my siblings use social media, my family members use social media. So then, what about if they are to come across such a post without actually knowing what is going on? Just reading it and then seeing there are some posted there with whatever caption that is written. It ran through my mind, and the fact that I am an active youth. People know me, not to say much people know me, but people know me. So how would they look at me? Would they look at me differently, or will they try to reach out and know what is going on? However, I had few amazing people that reached out, trying to inquire how I was, whether the post has affected me in any way, thereabout, just trying to know how I've processed the message. But then I believe a week later, the post was brought down and the page was also deleted. Funny enough, I was not the only one posted, so it was like, I think close to 7 to 10 people were posted on the same post. So, and I was like number 3.
How did you feel, especially when you were moving around on campus, in the community, with your friends?
When the post was brought down, I thought to myself, what of those that had already seen it? What about those who took a screenshot of it? What about those who shared the post with their colleagues? What would they now say? Because despite the fact that I was relieved that the post has been brought down, the page is no more, but the impact that it created when it was posted is a worry for me.
You just heard Pa Gomez, that's Pa Daniel Gomez. He is Mr. Gambia, currently wearing the crown as Mr. Gambia. What an experience so far. So we will take few of your comments. Remember, you can send in your comments on WADR English service on Facebook and on YouTube at WADR. For the Facebook, Terence Terendowski T2SS, thanks to the administration and staff of WADR English service for granting the young people the opportunity to share their ideas. Thank you, Terence. You can also do the same out there following. You can also share with others to also join the youthful platform where we exchange ideas for the betterment of young people, and we will certainly read out your comments. So it's a so touching one. But just before we welcome Pa Daniel Gomez, who has just explained his ordeal, let's hear from you, Big Ali J. What do you make of his experience?
It's sorrowful and it's painful as well. Yeah, imagine, how many people, how many millions they have, how many users on those platforms when they post something about you, especially concerning gay, what he mentioned, gam gays. So all these media outlets gonna repost it, and everyone's gonna have a screenshot, like he said, screenshot or share it. WhatsApp is available. You can share directly from Facebook to WhatsApp. And just imagine.
That brings us to the next aspect about the effects of these online harassments. But let's hear from you, Umi. You heard the story of Pa Gomez. What do you make of it?
Thank you. Well, I think it's heartbreaking for someone that is recognized and well known in his community to be posted on such networks, and the fear of what people might think of you. Will people accept you when you go out? What do people say? And the bully that is associated with it. You lose friends, you lose acquaintances, people start distancing themselves from you, because of the stigma attached to you. So I could see how much it would affect him and how it's just terrible at one point, honestly. I feel very bad.
You feel very bad. I mean, indeed, it's a very sad situation. But let's welcome Pa Daniel Gomez. Gomez, welcome to the Youthful Platform. How are you doing today?
Thank you very much for having me. I am fine, thank you. How are you?
Well, I'm okay. You have your colleague here. You have Aliyu. He's called Big Ali J. And your dear sister Umi is also on the line with you. Now, we've just heard your story. Would you mind sharing with the West African young people about how you felt, more about this situation in your community, in the school you attend, and how have you been coping along now that you are on this platform? How has it been going with you?
Uh, Let me just start by saying it's by the grace of God. It's by the grace of God that I've gone past that situation and I'm actually moving towards a brighter future, which I hope for everyone. For starters, because the incident happened during summer, so I was not going to school.
Okay.
We hadn't resumed the lectures, but then I still had errands to run. I had to go to church as I'm a Christian. So it was quite something, because I can remember vividly. There was a day I left my house. I was supposed to go for practice. So immediately I reached the highway. I was walking towards the venue for practice because it's not that far from my house. When I was going, I met up with a group of, I would say, young boys, quite my age. But then the fact that the news was still new and they were coming, we were about to meet each other. But the fact that they kept hearing and staring, they would stare and then they would have conversations that I would not hear. Immediately, my mind recollected and I thought of post. That was how I left the highway for them. I decided to branch off to take another way to go home. To go to the venue for the practice rather.
Okay.
Another one too was when we just resumed lectures. My first day of resuming, I was actually contemplating if I should go for lectures or not. Are people still talking about the post? Do they still remember about it? But then I said to myself, whatever they're going to think of me or whatever they are going to say is just going to be in their heads and then in their own discussions. Because I know nobody will stand and then tell me those kind of things. So I just had to bottle up my feelings and then go for lectures because I knew and I know that whatever is said about me online does not define who I am as a person. So it was difficult, yes, but then I was able to pull myself together. Now I have used that incident to kind of motivate me to be better and be better. Funnily enough, the way pageants are organized, there is a segment that is dedicated to advocacy round. And then ever since I started pageantry, I've always been talking about cyberbullying. And then now, to be a victim of what I've been advocating was quite ironical because I was believing that I was sending message for people to be more aware of cyberbullying, for people to actually stop the bullying, but then I ended up a victim. So it just motivated me to hold the but to hold the advocacy topic dear to my heart. And then it was still the same topic, which is cyberbullying, that I advocated for during my Mr. Gambia competition. And I actually have plans on doing the activities surrounding it to create more awareness on its effects and the like.
Okay. Just before I go to the others quickly, maybe you can just watch your background a bit, please, Gomez, so that we avoid the distraction from the background. You stated at the end of the interview that you are worried about, the impact, especially people sharing the post. That's the impact you are kind of concerned about. How have you, worked on that? Your mental stability, the psychological aspect of this. How have you tried to work on that?
Yes. With regards to the psychological aspects, already there is this mentality that Africans don't have psychological problems. So I think that saying has kind of sticked with me a little bit, which made me not to necessarily seek for professional help. But then I was able to talk to some colleagues who were able to proffer advice, who I was able to let out my emotions, and then actually share how I felt. Now, whenever I talk about the incident, I even laugh, because at some point I was like, this is actually funny, in the sense that this is something that you're always talking about. You're always talking about it. You're always talking about it, and you now fall prey to it. But then I think I wouldn't praise myself for, but I know that the state of mind of individuals differ, and I believe I am much more in the stronger side, in the sense that I am not easily beaten down psychologically.
Okay.
So that has actually helped me maintain stability in that sense.
Thank you. Gomez, please be on. Just hold on. We'll get to you to provide your pieces of advice to other young people. But let's come in studio with you, Aliyu. How do you look at the effects of these kinds of online harassment? You listen to Gomez. How do you think this situation affects young people in particular?
Especially in our environments here, we don't have like psychologists.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't go seek someone to therapist and see therapist.
Yeah.
We don't do that here. So if you find yourself in that kind of a situation, you got to be stronger. You got to be very strong to know how to handle things, because if not, it's gonna let you down. So, but I'm just happy that he made it out. He beat it, and now he's right where he is.
In this kind of situation, what do you think young people can do? Like when they observe that maybe they are being bullied, they are being harassed online, what do you think are the best ways for them to address the situation?
Here we have rules, and the government has rules. There are rules and regulations. Even on the platforms, they have their own features, what you can do, what you should do to avoid things like this. If someone bullied you and you know the person, and for his case, they're in the same country, right? Because it's one of the outlet that did it.
The pages so far?
Yeah. So it was possible for him to report it to the police, because he's not guilty. If you accuse me of what I didn't do, I have the right to take you to report you to the police. It's possible you can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The issue of reporting such maybe page to the police. Of course,
because you cannot accuse me of being a gay, because you know what it means now in our society, being a gay.
Yeah.
It's
and a young man as an active youth,
of
as he
course,
stated.
yeah. So everyone's gonna talk about it. You're gonna be the talk of the town, and that's, to me, it's horrible. So he had the right to do that, but he didn't do it. maybe I think he didn't do it right, but he's supposed to at least report it, because here I've come across certain story like that. A friend of mine, he told me this guy has been sending me messages, he's sending me notes on WhatsApp, like he needed this to do, but he's not part of that. At the end of the day, what he did, he took the matter to the police. And what happened before when he went there, the guy deleted the messages that he sent him.
Okay.
But at least, in case of anything, he just wanted to be the first person to be
To report it,
yeah.
the situation. Let's hear from you, Umi. What can you consider as some of the effects of these online harassments, having listened to Pagomes?
Thank you so much. I think how to call it, online harassment or bullying leads to some of these things that actually affect individuals, and some of those things are emotional and mental health issues. It could also lead to depression and anxiety that can lead to substance abuse. Some people, when they are stressed, they want to go have a stress-free mechanism. So that could lead to them going into substance abuse. And also, it could also lead to withdrawal from social activities and also suicidal thoughts. So it's very important society understands what cyberbullying is, how to prevent cyberbullying, and how to deal with cyberbullying itself.
It is sometimes, often some people would tend to just block the harasser. Is that a good practice to you, Umi? To block the person when you observe that? Is it a good practice, or there are other better options?
I think first of all, you should do what you're comfortable with, because in this case, there are certain countries that don't hold some of these things with so much importance. So, per se, if the person doesn't want people to actually know about what is going on in their individual lives, it's okay to block the individual. But also, you could take legal steps to make sure that the harassment doesn't really stop with you, but also the perpetrator should stop harassing other people around. So basically, some of the things I would say people can practice to protect themselves is avoid sharing sensitive data or information, because most of these people might actually know certain things about you, so they use those things to attack you. Like sometimes when people do this cyberbullying, it's not always the information they share is fake. Some of them have been hating on you, so they wait for chances where they have certain informations about you that can damage you and your career. So they will tend to look for a perfect timing and use those information towards you. So it's very important to know what to share out there and know who to talk about certain information. You could also refrain from responding to them, because the more you respond to these cyber people that do cyberbullying, the more you respond, the more it goes. So you should also carefully screen all your friend requests. You should know who you're accepting and who you're not accepting into your page. It's very important when someone sends you a friend request, you go to their page, check their activities, and know the type of people they are before you accept them. So those are things, and also to report cyberbullying. And you could also block them and safeguard your password, your peace, and mental health. So that's
Okay. Now, when it comes to protecting oneself to avoid these things, let me ask you, Pa Gomez, since this situation happened to you, have you thought about ways to protect yourself from recurrence of such online harassment?
Thank you very much. Yes, I have, and I usually took steps after the incident. So, like I said, cyberbullying has been something that I've been advocating for a long time. So, before Mr. Gambia, there was KM Red Cross, KM Master Red Cross and Miss competition. Before that, there was Face of UTG, which is a pageant that is organized and it is contested within sub-associations within the University of the Gambia. So I represented my school, which is School of Journalism. So after the competition, I organized a seminar in which I was acquainted with an organization called Gambia Cybersecurity Alliance. And I know that they help people when it comes to fraud, and then maybe someone is trying to extort money from you, or the person is threatening you using certain things, using certain information about you that you do not want to share, and they want to extort you. So immediately after the incident, I tried contacting them. I explained the whole situation to them. Lucky for me, because I was sent the post, so then I had that as an evidence to prove that this was done to me. So I shared it to them. They asked for my Instagram account name, the username. I gave everything to them. But I did try doing follow-ups, but it was not as favorable as I would have wanted, because they were not responding as much.
Okay.
I don't know whether it's because of what has been said, because like Umi Gajega said earlier, that there are certain countries that do not take these things very serious, especially in the Gambia. Whenever the topic of homosexuality comes, people shy away from it. People do not want to associate with that or with whatever surrounding homosexuality. So I think that was one of the barriers that made me not to actually get the help that I would have wanted. And I also knew going to the police would be a no-no for me, because then it will cause a whole lot of process that I wasn't necessarily interested, because the issue to escalate so much.
Okay.
But what I did at personal level was to change my Instagram settings to make my account private. Once it was private, whoever sends me a friend request, I have to accept it. So before accepting it, I'll go to your page, I'll look at the people that we are following in common. I'll look at your friend, even the people that you're following, I'll make sure to look at them and then see any slight of suspect that I see, I decline that request.
Okay.
So it has actually been that way until I think November, because I was like, okay, now I have won the Mr. Gambia title. Let me change the status to public. In that way, when I post content with regards to maybe initiatives that I am doing, I'll be able to get people who would see it, either learn from it, or be inspired by it, or maybe have individuals that want to support my cause.
Okay. All right. So
those were the things that I did at personal level.
Okay. Just you a few seconds to send out your recommendations to young people quickly. It's been a pleasure to have you. Just send out your recommendations to young people.
Yes. My recommendation to the young people is be alert and be educated on cyberbullying, because there is a thin line between joking with someone and bullying. You have to be careful of the intent, the intention of what person has written, the tone, the language, the reputation. You should be able to identify what is bullying and what is not bullying.
Okay. Thank you.
If in any way it does harm, stay away from it.
All right. Thank you. Let's hear from you, Umi. What are your recommendations?
Thank you. My recommendations would be for government to actually have these regulatory systems to actually follow up social media networks with policies, and also by educating the mass about the effects of online harassment, by organizing community outreaches, online talk shows like these, and also implementing acts to punish perpetrators. To the young people, I would like to say, uh, young people should be educated about cyberbullying and how it affects individuals, and also respecting people's privacy and being a positive role model, and also choosing from sending comments. So these are my recommendations.
All right, thank you. And to you, Aliyu, please, what are
Yeah,
your recommendations?
I think they have to educate people about um, social media. You know,
Who?
the users,
Okay.
they have to know how to use it, when to use it, and why. Because they can't just be doing anything online on these platforms, because they keep your data and it stays. You know, so you should know what to put on there,
Okay.
and they should also protect the victims. They give them support.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you. It's been a pleasure to have you, Pa Daniel Gomez, along with Umin Gajaga, as well as Big Ali J, for being my guests on today's edition of the program. Thank you, Pa Gomez. And thank you, Umi.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
All right. Thank you, Big Ali J.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, listeners and viewers, that's how we draw the curtains on this fourth edition of Take the Lead here on West Africa Democracy Radio, broadcasting on 94.9 FM, on YouTube at WADR, on Facebook, WADR English Service, and worldwide on WADR.org. Sincere gratitude to you. And please join us next Friday for another live episode of this program. Remember to take the lead in shaping the discourse for the betterment of young people in Africa. My name is Augustine Bilkali. Stay blessed.
We thank you for listening to this program in Nigeria on Darling FM